Okay.
Alright, so
Does everybody know which one they're gonna like follow along with the
This one?
Okay.
I think so. Well, she's just gonna make sure we touch
On
based on these ones. And then, oh, you have the note.
Yeah, do you have this?
Yeah.
So, how do we want to start? Are you gonna like say do the introduction?
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll be like, welcome to the IEP on, what's the date?
October 18th.
18th at whatever time it is.
5:43 p.m.
Yeah. To discuss, Liana, I'm, whatever you want to name yourself, I'm the school administrator.
And
Do we have to say like our first name? Like, do I?
I don't know,
say
that's what I was
Carly?
thinking. I'm going to say Mr. S because all these are Mrs., but like her, she's going to say
Mrs. P.
Mrs. P.
Do I
You pick one of the general education teachers.
And I'll just
have
say.
any
Oh, they don't have a name.
So I'm just gonna be
Yeah, they do, like Mr. and Mrs. I think.
Yeah, they're the special education. There's no Mr. It's all Mrs. Mrs. Miss. So that's why I'm just going to call myself. Should I call myself Mr. R?
Sure.
Or like, actually I should do the English one. I'll do Mr. A, the English and civics teacher, because the other one was science. They just talked about math, English, and writing that she struggled in. So like,
These are special ed teachers. I thought
Yeah.
they were just the classroom teachers.
no, they're all
Liana's
special.
special education, English, and
And I'm gonna do what? I'll just do Miss W. It's easy to remember.
Yeah,
And
you can
I'll
be
be
Mr. S. That's
administrator.
easier for
Okay.
you. But I'm Mrs. P. System.
I'm the school administrator,
Alright,
Mrs. H.
I guess for the what am I trying to say? For the where we want the setting, is it 3 that we want it to be in?
I would say, just because
I
you
was
want...
debating between 2 and 3.
Me
but
too. That's exactly what I put, 2 or 3. Just because I was thinking 3 because it gives you more time. Like if you have look on here, it says for 61 to 100%, or 380 minutes. So if you don't use that much, that's
Oh, I
fine.
see.
And then for the next, because this is a re-evaluation.
Yeah.
Because she was already pre-evaluated and she has special education services already. So
So should we include her in for like the curriculum, like the where she's low in, pull her out and do that in a general
like
a resource room type study?
the
such as-
math, the reading, and
Yeah.
writing, and the
That's
rest.
what I was gonna say because she's not at like the math, like algebra
Okay.
1
So
is like freshman,
her
she's not at
actual,
Yeah.
just a learning disability, right? Because right here it said mild range of cognitive impairment. What is it like? She just has learning disability for?
I mean, that's what I'm getting from it. Like, I remember the bell curve or whatever. We had
64. I remember that.
Mhm.
So she's
Just-
below.
barely below 70. Yeah.
Would that be one of our things to mention? Or
Well, I'm
think
mentioning
so.
it for the math because she's not at she's at like 15%. You know, but you can mention that. You can say that right away. I mean, her full is 64, so that's why we're gonna pull her out because she's in those.
okay, so should we have like a plan of like what we should go through, or are you just gonna throw it and we're going? Is that what we're doing, or what?
Well,
Because I would like you probably want to know
Well,
when
kind
to
of,
say,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and I kind of want to know too.
Well, how about so
Introductions.
so we
here.
have to
Follow this one. I would say introduce everyone. Have everyone sign their attendance sheet. Share parental rights. You know, that's kind of
okay.
Okay. Discuss meeting purpose, and you'll say like.
Well, yeah. If I
two
just
stuff.
follow this,
and that might be the same thing. Just
Is that the same thing?
yeah, it just looks scarier.
That's the rubric.
Yeah.
So if that's scarier, then use this.
but
do
I
you
mean,
wanna
it's a
make
little bit
sure?
more detailed. If
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
using this, then
Okay, yeah. So you go off of that. We'll kind of go with this.
Okay.
And then another
You
question.
the pup and smell. I was not ready for that.
what'd you say?
The pup and pop.
Well, let's say the dog.
I know what that is, but I'm saying
Yeah.
we have to review that.
No.
Well,
Come on.
It does not say anything about prep or flop.
Okay.
What do you guys feel? How do you feel about like peer tutoring with her?
Wait, let's see.
Because
She didn't have any
It's-
friends, did she?
no, it's like mentioning like socially
I
how
think
she's
she,
behind.
yeah.
Well,
And I feel like that would help.
I was thinking too for the math thing or any subject in general ed, like there's gonna be other students that are in the same boat as she is. So when they're in a general ed classroom, have them maybe work together.
Yeah, are you covering? You're gonna cover the math, the reading, and the math, reading, and writing for the general education teacher, right? You're not just picking math.
Well, I picked math, but then you can go off of why we want them,
Okay.
why we think they should be.
There said something about that. I'm gonna say.
Like, what do you like peer tutoring on like their English and stuff?
It said it somewhere, like
Honestly,
recommendation.
just like anything. Maybe even math, because that's like something she really, really struggles in. And I don't know. I feel like
Recommended
it's a little bit
aid
easier to-
services and modifications. One-on-one tutoring by. I was thinking we could do that like by a teacher, give her extra, one-on-one tutoring, and then also do like peer tutoring in the classroom or something, so she can get.
or even outside of class. Like, is that something you can do?
Because I don't think we should do the aids like send her to. I don't know about English and that, but you won't want to send her to something that she's not even gonna be able to follow or do because she's just
Right.
she's not gonna be able to do it when you pull her out of the classroom. You know.
And then like this, it talks about the computer access too. So we're gonna like talk about how when you said like math apps or whatever, we'll bring that up and say that we think that she should have an iPad, and you're gonna say either we can or can't. But you're gonna say we can.
So you.
So,
So that would be something that I have to provide for her. Is that what you're saying?
No, the
No.
school district.
but if you have an objection over it, like if you don't want her to have one, then you can say no. I don't think she needs one, and I'd be like, okay, maybe she'll just use it in
That's
class,
cool.
and then
Is there anything you want like us to like mention?
Yeah.
I guess like
Right.
Well, okay. Can we just go over like math, reading, and writing? What we're gonna like say that we're gonna implement, and what I can like go off from.
we have to
from that.
write goals. That's the part that
Yes.
I'm nervous about.
for implementing, I think since we're pulling her out of the room, those are the three main areas where she struggles the most. So I think we should do that in the recess room and focus on that outside, and then incorporate her in
Sign.
choir and like physical education and stuff, so she has interaction with her peers
Mhm.
and those kinds. And then when you pull her out, you can focus on like the future life because they talk about that.
A lot.
So focus on like how
Like
we can.
if you read the mom and dad
Yeah.
summary, the
Well,
mom
was
line.
like
Wanna
worried
transition.
about that's like one of the main focuses is this transition period.
So I guess when we pull her out,
Yeah,
we
this
can
is all the
focus
mom
on
right
some
here.
of those.
Locate the bridge which transforms. See Liana flourish academically. See Liana discover and become emotionally drawn. Meet a soulmate, magnifying a reason for each other's existence.
And then the father was just saying how
He is all about how he wants her to be successful after school, like in life and all that kind of stuff.
so I guess we could ask you suggestions on what you would like us to see because you said more. There's something in here that says since her high school, we have had less communication with how she's doing in school. So maybe we should incorporate how we could communicate better with her parents or something in that form.
And then also, like when she asks in the beginning, we probably should start off with like, oh, can you remind me of, since the reevaluation, like remind me of Liana's likes
Right.
and dislikes.
and how you can relate that to like how she's doing in
Yeah,
school.
so you can say some of these if you want,
Mhm.
and then some of the dislikes, and then I think this one's cool, like wishes what she could do, and maybe, try to incorporate, but that's a lot of
Well,
that, none
I
of these are
highlighted
like,
like a couple of things,
Okay.
like losing weight and spending more time with family. I feel like there's like slight like depression.
That's what I was thinking. Then it said Leanna does not presently have a best friend of the same sex. So like maybe
She needs
she's being
social.
bullied because it says she wants to lose weight, and so maybe she has
Well,
like a
yeah, you
bad
could put
body.
that in her head.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah,
Maybe she has a bad
well, we don't
body
want to
image.
assume that.
No.
Well, they said we could make up stuff about it.
Yeah.
So,
you want to say that she's bullied?
I just
and-
don't laugh. That's not something to laugh about. But, you know, like, I don't know if that's, like, what you want to go off of, like, that, or is that...
I don't know if that's necessarily like significant. We can just
Yeah.
point out like that those are like kind of negative things, and
Yeah.
I think
I was thinking like
'Cause that
more
could
of
relate
like
to
the
school,
social skills.
right
Yeah, that.
related to the social
And how do we want to incorporate social skills? Like, what would you want? How do you
like
create, like, a good friend? Is that, like, what you were talking about with
peer
tutoring?
tutoring, starting with that. But like I mean that could only go so far, like because
Yeah.
Do
no, how
does she
you
have,
get
like, any sports interests?
Like
that? Yeah, volleyball. It says right here. Swim, volleyball. She likes to cook, play basketball,
So put her,
play badminton. Ooh, she likes
incorporate
sports.
her maybe and see if she wants to do an after school event. Even be incorporated in, like, just doing bookkeeping or stuff like that if she
Well,
don't
she
want to
could play.
participate.
Oh yeah, if she doesn't want to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be like manager.
And then she can ride the bus and interact with them, and
Yeah.
that would be after school.
well I was just like thinking like with peer tutoring, is that something that peers have to sign up for? Because you can't like force a student to like work with somebody.
You
Like,
would
they're gonna
ask.
they have to be
You could
willing.
maybe ask them. Someone that you see that's like succeeding in that topic, like be like, would you be willing to tutor?
So maybe we can just say so and so's willing to, just
Yeah.
so we can, because, and is that something that you can put in an IEP? That, so, like, we have somebody that's willing to.
Yeah, she's gonna. I think you can say that. You could be like, 3 days a week after school, she's gonna meet with Billy, and he's gonna tutor her in math and
Okay.
all 3 subjects, or just one. Do you want all 3?
I mean, yeah, if that, yeah, we can say
Or
I
but
agree
we
to
can
that.
also do.
What if that person, like, decided they didn't want to, and it's in their IEP that certain person is
Or
going
you
to be
just
working
do
with them?
you have like through the gen ed teacher, you could have that could be like assignment for like I'd be like for an assignment for my class, I assigned students to work individually as a tutor, like we are assigned to tutor
Mm-hmm.
kids. I don't know if that's like a requirement for high school, but you can maybe that could be like a special project. They'll have some
Mhm.
tutoring on the
Or we
side.
could just enroll her in an after school program. Like
Mhm.
my school had there was like an after school program that they could go to and get help.
Mhm.
There was other peers in it, but it was facilitated kind of like this was by a qualified instructor,
Mm-hmm.
like by a teacher,
Yeah.
so that they were able to get help on any subject. And then if they weren't able, the teacher that was there wasn't able to help, they like would find someone that could help. So maybe should we just say after school program? She will go to an after school program.
But do
How
we
many-
supply that, or is that your own thing that you?
Well, she has to be okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but are we for the school providing that?
Well, if we have an after school, we'll say that there's a high school funded after school program that's free,
Mhm.
and we would like to have her attend.
Mhm.
If okay with you,
Well,
we
and
can
I'm
just
gonna, right, and I'm
yeah.
gonna say of course, because that's like a
Yeah.
main focus, it's
Yeah.
just the social interaction. And,
or yeah, you'd be
Outside
like,
of
of course, I think that would really be beneficial.
yeah,
I just don't know what you wanted to tutor her on.
well,
Her subjects:
Just
math,
anything,
English, and writing,
just the basics.
to try to get her back up to par with.
okay, well, say like in this after school program that they're grouped in their levels for those certain, say they're gonna go through reading, writing, and math, and then they're gonna be grouped with students that are, you know, maybe a little bit better, a little not with them, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And then go from there with that. I don't know if that. So it's a little bit more structured rather than just a student, like a teacher talking to them, because she's not gonna have much social interaction if that.
Do you have that piece of paper that you have to hand her?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll do review. So Chairman Balls did that. Make name tags before review the student's file. Did that. Invite all team members. Mail the parents right. She said if you want to, you can be like, oh, you should have received one of these in the mail, but I would like to provide you with, what is it called?
Procedure safeguards.
Good.
Another thing with the iPad that you guys are going to mention, I might kind of throw in there that might limit her social interaction.
Well, that's
and then
for-
we can like talk about exactly, and then you can go ahead and say like
Say it'll be for in-class purposes only,
correct.
and it won't go
So-
home with her.
Well, it'll have to go
No.
because like she wants activities to do at home with her.
Right, and then
So like those are activities that she could do with her mom at home. I guess you can come up
The
with other
activities that we could send her home with activities to do with her mom that don't include an iPad, unless you want her to have
Like
an
it's like a
iPad.
prompt.
Like the iPad could be something that would help her in the classroom.
it could be both. In
Okay.
the classroom and at home, but that certain time where she's supposed to be having like that social interaction
And needs to
with
put away.
like sports, it can't be like out.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And then another thing we mentioned last week too, when we were kind of starting to talk about this, is that like the whole like grocery store kind of like scenario, because we were talking about like the money and
Mhm.
counting and how that would be like helping her with social skills, also with the money counting and actually like talking to other people, because it says that she
And even in for this, I know Dr. Kirk, you haven't had his class, but he did a scenario like this where he had an individual, and every week they'd go get school supplies. It's like in their sped course, and then they'd practice,
Mhm.
and then when they got like the courage and they knew it, then they'd go to the grocery store and get the supplies themselves. It may sound silly, but actually, I don't
No,
know,
that
that's
sounds
something
good.
you'd want to
Yeah.
incorporate.
and I feel like she's comfortable with that part, but with like I said, the money.
Yeah,
and,
she
Yeah.
seems, and like going through it, seems like she has a lot of life skills. Like she can cook,
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
can bathe herself, she can go to the bathroom herself, like all that kind of stuff she can do by herself. It just seems like the main focus is educational and then also like the big social
Yeah,
aspect.
and I guess we can say include her like in the gen ed courses, like math, not the math, but like the PE and the
Mhm.
music,
Yeah.
all that. What else do we even?
Yeah,
Egg.
physical education,
Egg classes,
science classes,
foods. She likes food.
food, like a home ec.
Yeah. Health.
Okay, so the purpose of this meeting, what are we gonna state?
Purpose of this meeting.
To reevaluate Liana's IEP to make sure it's up to date with,
I think we should start focusing on the life stuff after.
yep.
Updating
So
Because she's
just-
16, so.
Because she's 16, yep, and make sure it
To
is
make a transition plan
from high school to
to the
after.
Okay, and we haven't like touched on any of it yet. What are we gonna say about that?
The after plan?
Wing it. No.
No, the after plan would be doing those basic skills like money and stuff so that she can implement it in the future. So she can go to a grocery store herself and be able to
Mhm.
buy
Yeah,
food.
so that is the
Well, and the
transition.
social part, so that when she gets out of school, hopefully she goes to college or whatnot, she'll be able to live with a roommate, she'll know how
Meet
to,
people and-
yeah.
And just a IEP. Is it every year after 16? Or just 16 and then, well, she can see when she's
Isn't it an
21.
annual?
Yeah, she can stay till she's 21. I think it's every year.
Alright, and then, so we know her educational strengths and needs, her goals, objectives. So we need to focus on like her strengths too, not only her things that she needs help with. So her strengths were like, what was all her strengths? She can spell really well, but since she's not able to do, she's not able to comprehend what she
Yeah.
read.
And like her writing isn't well organized.
Yeah.
So for tutoring, you could do a tutoring strategy just on comprehension, like we do, like those strategies we learned.
Mm-hmm.
Just do one focus on comprehension, so she could build on that.
You're right here.
An after school program.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna have to like throw ideas off each other.
Yeah.
So
What were those comprehension strategies, like repetitive reading or reciprocal reading?
And are you guys gonna be like asking me like, oh, how do you feel about this? What do you?
yeah, like a lot of it is gonna be like we'll be talking and then we'll be like, are you okay with this? Like that kind of stuff and like your opinion on it and all that kind of stuff too.
I think
And then any terms that we use, we have to like define, or you can't be like LRE. You need
Yeah.
to say least restrictive environment, and then if you don't know, like if you want to on one or two of them or
Like, can you
something, be
remind me
like,
what that means?
yeah, something like that.
do you
Okay.
How would you like to specifically make? How would you like to specifically? What? How would you like to make feel welcome?
What?
How would you like to make feel welcome?
Where are you reading?
Oh, pre-meeting. Because since we're specifically made to feel welcome by.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. Specifically made to feel welcome. By
There we go.
activity.
That.
Okay. And then and then we have to go like transition services. She's
And we can even just like point that out.
testing.
It's not gonna be perfect.
Shoot, we didn't do anything about testing.
Well, I was just gonna run over her test when I talk about math.
Yeah.
And be like, she scored below average, on all of them. That's what makes her have an impairment. And that's why she qualifies for special ed. And then I'm just gonna go in more detail with the math.
So is this the math score that you're using? 57.
Total mathematics, yep.
And then I'm going to use the total reading, 57.
So for overall, if you want
Total writing.
yeah. And
So writing, she's not. Spelling, she's over. Because that 70 is the cutoff.
Mm-hmm.
And overall, she's at 64. So 70 or below in writing, reading, and math.
And honestly, I think we could put her in a writing course that is with her peers and have an aide there to support her. And she's on borderline, but that's why we can bend the requirements to fit her needs with an aide.
But isn't writing, isn't that included in reading? There's not a subject that's just called writing, is there?
Well, I had one.
You did?
Yeah, like advanced
did.
writing.
You did? Okay.
Yeah. Speech.
Mine was always, we had like everything in reading, writing, and spelling all fell under the subject reading.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think once it gets to like a certain point, it does.
Because in high school I didn't have no just writing classes. It was like, you did?
Yeah, we had them offered.
Oh.
Like advanced writing,
That's what I had.
Oh.
Like creative writing,
Yeah.
journalism, or
journal, yeah.
Okay, so we'll do that. So for
So would that
she's gonna stay in the classroom,
With an aide. And
the
then
general classroom.
maybe at her, well, this could be in general, but I'm not the writing teacher, but I mean, just in general, we
Yeah.
can make accommodations for
Okay.
her.
whatever.
And say I'm gonna agree with that stuff, and then I'm gonna like often just mention like, okay, how are we gonna like, how is this gonna help her transition? And then you can point out like the whole like grocery store scenario, like, but that would be with math. What would we do with writing and
Like
reading?
writing out applications,
John,
resumes, or
We'll say that we can work on that for sure.
Yeah.
Introducing that at least because it's gonna take her extra time to.
Yeah. I'm so dumb.
That's okay.
Okay.
And then if we have her in, hold out just 2 classes or 3 classes a day, will that change this?
But we
Yeah.
did say that she's not gonna be pulled out, right? She's gonna have like an aide.
In writing, but in
She's
math,
we're pulling out for math and reading.
for sure.
That, because if you look at 72, that's 2 to 4 periods a day at a secondary level, but you also have to look at 76 to 228 minutes a day. If it's going to be anywhere close to that, you might just want to bump it up. I remember talking with Megan about it, and she said that
Just be safe.
be
Mhm,
safe.
mhm.
So, and then next time, if we, like for the next one, the next annual, they can be like, oh, we didn't use this many minutes. We can put it back to a 2.
Do you want to mention that? Like,
Sure.
do we mention the setting?
Yeah,
we have to make
everyone
sure
will.
instead of saying like setting, we're gonna say like LRE, you know, like this is, wouldn't that be like her?
This is a setting. It says it, type of special education setting.
Okay.
It's all on here. Do you have that on your sheet? Is there on that one?
the type of setting.
Maybe we should just all go off this one. Sorry.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then hopefully that just touches our base.
Yeah,
Touches base
I'll
on-
just
just so we're all on the same page.
Mhm.
Because then
And we're gonna be have to go through.
oh, I don't have that.
Like our extended school year, do we go off of this? Like, do we say these questions?
It's like a long folder. Yeah, my second.
share it too.
Yeah.
Okay, back to the note taking thing. You know, what exactly am I supposed to be taking notes on? Like everything?
You
Well, is she doing the notice of the IEP meeting? She doing that?
I just
taking notes on this.
yeah.
Yeah.
So is this what we follow though? Do we do extended school year? Like, do we answer these questions as a group afterwards, or do we do it while we
That's
go?
that's like the IEP checklist. If you go back to the IEP checklist, it says like, did you do this? Did you do this?
Mhm.
I don't know if that's something that we're supposed to be like, yep, we covered that, or do we not do that? Like this right here, it says like, you covered all that, and then for this, does it describe the student in a positive way? Does it reflect parent guardian's concerns? Are we going through that at the end?
I don't think so. Do you?
What?
You
Well,
don't,
do
I
we
don't
go
think
through all this at the end? That's the same thing that you're saying. Like, does it describe how the student's disability affects involvement? And then it's going to go, it talks about extended school year. Did you talk about the extended school year? Does the student seating need to be changed? Does the IEP specify?
Well, I don't think we need to go through that because we're not handing that in.
We're
Well-
handing this in, but a lot of this information is going to be covered when we do the meeting, and we just go off of it. And some of this stuff is like the extended school year and all that. That isn't that in our
Yeah.
school?
That's in this.
Okay.
Okay, I might also just like start taking notes on like just a blank piece of paper as we're going through too, because like I don't want to. It's gonna be hard for me to flip through here, you know.
All right. So if we get like stumped or whatever, we're just gonna start over because we can clip out,
Oh, yeah.
right? The best of them. So if we have to just start over.
Like from the beginning.
Whoa,
No, we-
it might take more than one run, don't you think?
No, we're doing it as one run, but we're just gonna do
If we need to stop,
Oh,
we need
the
to stop,
best 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
which is probably gonna be the first 10 minutes, I'm guessing.
We reduce ourselves 5 minutes. Okay. Should we
Tell
just
us your life story, please.
go with this?
Okay.
Wait, can somebody answer my question again? Like note taking, just this, yes.
Yeah.
Just do it on there if you want, if you don't want to flip through.
Because I don't
I mean,
know.
we're gonna go.
Like when we meet, it might be beneficial if you want to write it on here.
Yeah, because we're gonna go by.
On what? This
This.
one or the IEP
what we're gonna-
checklist?
This is that thing that we have to. What we have to submit is this.
Yeah.
Correct.
So why wouldn't we just follow this?
One at a time, page to page.
Yeah. That's yeah.
Instead of how to
Instead.
run an IEP.
Well, I mean, we're like following kind of both of them, maybe.
Okay.
But,
well,
like,
I
I
don't
think-
have that, so
I think
We
Doing
can pause
this.
to refer to this after we're going through each section of that.
Okay.
No?
Yeah, sure. That's gonna be a lot of cutting, but sure.
I don't think we have to cut. She knows that we're
Oh
going to
yeah.
be
Never
stopping.
mind. Yeah. Then yeah. Then yes.
She's okay with us just like stopping and like going and stopping and going.
Just has to be
So
taken.
why
So
don't
the
we refer
present
back to
temples-
this? I'm confused.
Or we just.
Why don't we just follow this then?
Aye, aye, Captain.
Right?
Yes.
Just follow
Let's
that.
just
I
do-
don't have it. It's fine.
Let's just do this.
I'll look
one.
on with you,
So
and it'll be fine, right?
yeah, and
Does that say like introduce yourself? All that stuff?
No, but I'll facilitate that.
Yeah, so you just have to say like, ask for participation from everyone. So maybe you start with this because it
Yeah.
has like listed out like exactly. All right, let's just do this.
Okay.
Bounce like if I'm struggling, just shoot some stuff at me.
okay.
Like, go here. I think you're saying this.
And also like suggest things if people aren't like lose their train of thought or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just to keep it
And
flow.
yeah. And then you might, because like you'll trying to remember what you were going to say and forget. And
Maya, do we have a school name or do I have to include that at all?
sure, make one up. Say where you went to school. No, it doesn't say. Leanna's a student at
Lake School.
Lake School High School.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lake School High School. She is 16 years old in grade 10. And after you introduce her stuff. right?
Yeah,
Okay.
so we all introduce each other and then I say all that.
Then you say all that.
Okay.
And then that form. Don't forget
It
to
is
hand out that
the-
form.
18th. 1 second.
It's the 19th.
It's the 19th?
Just start again.
No, I wasn't starting yet.
Oh.
I was writing on my paper. All right. Welcome to the IEP meeting for Leanna. It is October 19th, and I am Mrs. H, the administrator for the school.
And I am Miss W, the general ed teacher.
I'm Mrs. P, Leanna's mother.
I'm Mr. S. I am the English and civics special education teacher.
All right, and the purpose of this meeting is to reevaluate Leanna's current IEP and to make a transition plan. And so I would first like to hand you the procedural safeguards. I'm sure you got that in the mail with the notice of the IEP,
I did.
but I will just give you that again.